Good morning and welcome to Failure to Stop Big Case Breakdowns, the #1 show for police-related breakdowns. Today's show brought to you by rangerup.com, promo code Eric Tansey, EricTansey. I'm not sure if there's a space between Eric and Tansey. Try it both ways, but I promise you this promo code will work. It's going to get you a discount on the new Ranger Up t-shirts. Ranger Up is back. Listen, they've got a Pig Latin shirt that's already out, and there's going to be a couple of Failure to Stop shirts out. If you want to go and you want to, get one of the cool t-shirts, they've got a bunch of them. They got a bunch of LEO ones, veteran-specific ones, EOD-specific ones, tons of them. Head over to rangerup.com. Use the promo code Eric Tansey. Today's show is also brought to you by Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story. The book is rolling along. It's chugging along. We're staying up in the top 100,000 sales of all of Amazon books, which there are millions and millions and millions, tens of millions of books on there. And so we're doing really good. We're coming just out of #1 in political humor. So the book is doing really well. We're getting tons of really great reviews. Hopefully I'll get a chance to read some of those reviews to you today, but we have a big case breakdown today. This is the war on police. It still rages. It hasn't stopped raging, but we're fighting this from multiple angles, and I have to get into it today because listen, I have been on this book tour and things have been very crazy for me. And I'm getting to talk to a lot of police officers, which is really cool. I'm back behind the scenes. And this is like one theme that's just been coming up over and over again. So a lot of guys are reading my book. They're laughing. They're having a great time. They're getting to the chapter thirsty lieutenants. I was actually just DMing back and forth with Dan Caldwell, the president of Tap Out. He was a former police officer and then went on to own Tap Out. I did a live with him earlier this week. It was a lot of fun. Dan Punkass Caldwell from Tap Out. You can go and follow him. And this kind of came up in the Thirsty Lieutenants chapter. So I thought this would be an awesome time to bring it up because I think that there are law enforcement officers right now. You guys are sitting in your patrol cars, your meat wagons. That's what the show is always for. It keeps you guys informed and entertained. But I feel like all these conversations I'm having, we need to talk about this together because it's getting out of hand. Before we do that, though, let's play the quick little intro and we'll get this show started properly. While the chats are up and moving, and I'll address the chats. It's a very special day today, too, and I'll bring that up. But let's get through this here intro first, and then we'll get into it.
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on Sunday.
This is about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
What's up and giddy up, guys? That's good to be here, man. It's Friday. Lazaro Lopez in the chats. It was his birthday this week. Can we sing happy birthday to Lazaro Lopez? We could, but none of us speak Mexican. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Feliz cumpleaños. I don't know, but it's good to have you guys here in the chats. Bosco Autry, Blonde Beard, Mur530, Nightkin from across the pound date. Coming back from the Swedish area. Good to see you. Folk around and find out. DM me. Do you have a Glock 19, a G19? I want to send you something, but if you don't have a Glock 19, it would be worthless sending it to you. Sheepdog Holsters made a custom Pig Latin holster, and they also did a Pig Latin metal Zin can that I'd like to give them away. And Folk Around Find Out has sent lots of pictures of her with the book. I think she deserves this, but I don't want to send out a Glock 19 custom Pig Latin holster from sheepdogholsters.com if you don't even have a Glock 19. I'll find something else to send your way. If somebody's got a Glock 19, I'll put you on the secondary list. So just send me a DM that you've got a G19. Lorenz up in the chats. Good morning. Today's a big special day. Abby Ellsworth is here. Welcome. It's Jason Kiefer's wedding day, and I was supposed to be there. It's very unfortunate. You guys know how my life's going. It's going like crazy. The book tour. Have I bit off more than I can chew? I'll say it right now. Yes, I've absolutely bitten off way more than I can chew. It was very weird with the whole book thing. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And it's a totality of circumstances, from getting out bookmarkers, which sounds easy on the surface, but it's not, because there were hundreds. And then you've got books that you thought people were going to Amazon to you and you were going to mail back to them. And that was over 100 books, and nobody left a gift receipt with their return address. So now I'm trying to track down people to get that out. Plus, and then the rights of the book for the movie rights, the television rights were handed over. I never saw that coming. And so I've been working with that. And I literally just, I feel like all of the world just came down on me in a good way, but also in an awful way, because then I just screw everything up. Like I went from screwing up a little bit, a tiny bit, to now it's like I have so much that I just wake up every day in absolute crushed failure because I can't keep up with everything. And, I talked about it last week. I'm not going to talk about it again, but I'm getting through it. And I told you guys, to be fair, I did say that things were going to get crazy with the book tour, and I needed like 90 days of craziness with this podcast. Just stay in the fight. Stay with me. The podcast will go back to the way it used to be. It's just right now, it can't, because I've got too much to do. I got too many things to do. But anyway, I was supposed to have Josh with me here today. He said he was going to be here. He ended up not being here, but he's got a lot of just a plethora of health issues. So I'll be doing the show on my own again tonight, but I see Jonathan Bates is still awake. Let's see what he says. Not sure how I feel about everyone saying happy birthday to Scott when it's literally my birthday, but okay. I would rather wish you a happy birthday, John, because you speak English and you'll understand my happy birthday wish. So let's all together do this here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. I stand corrected. Bates, happy birthday to you. By the way, the Pig Latin book, the art would not be probably where it's at if it wasn't for Jonathan Bates. So, I hope that once this journey takes off, John will be very close by my side, as well as everybody else, Josh on the show, Jason Kiefer, everybody. But, I did make a post this week about the original pitch that we did for the book, and the art was all done by Jonathan Bates. And the art was really kind of what intrigued people on social media to then go out and help me find Nick Palmisano, who ended up getting me a large book deal with Simon Schuster. So it's really crazy when you go back, and I talk on all these podcasts. It's crazy when you go back and you look at all the things that were the most pivotal moments in your life, and in the moment that they were happening, you didn't know that. You didn't know that this was the most pivotal moment in my life. I didn't know when John offered to do some artwork for me that he would be producing shows, editing shows, would be a lifelong friend. He would be doing, we have been through ups and downs and all the craziness together. Who would have thought that just seeing his art, I don't know that John thought when he was painting those pictures, when he was doing those sketches, that, it would ultimately change my life forever. And I hope to one day change his life the way that he changed mine in a positive way. So very, very happy birthday. And I'm a terrible friend for not remembering your birthday. I have 5 kids, though, to be fair, and I don't even know their birthdays. So I actually just true story, woke up this morning to my 10-year-old says, I will be 11 in 6 days. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, you're right. I haven't even, I feel like we just did one September 12th. So anyway, it's crazy. So, we're going to have a good show today. This show is an important show. It really is. Today's episode is an important show because the war rages on. And I don't remember where I heard the speech, but they said that man, if I had my producer here with me, we could probably have nailed this, but there was a speech, somebody made it. I don't know who, but it said that there was a group of people and they kept denying that they were in war, that the war hasn't made it to them yet. Well, the enemy is just flanking us. Well, they're not flanking us. They're just moving over there because there's better water. We're not really at war. They're not really a threat. And then the enemy splits off and goes to the other direction. And now they've flanked on 2 sides. And they're like, well, no, they just needed to go over there to get more food. So now they have water and food, but we're not really at war with them. And then one day they wake up completely surrounded by the enemy and it's too late because they denied, because they didn't want to believe, because it is easier to believe that you're not in war. If you're a cop right now and you're in one of these jurisdictions that nothing happens. Oh, I'm so tired of these ranger up guys. I'm so tired of these bro vet cops who want to preach to me that we're in we're not at war. What are you talking? I don't need to be a warrior. You guys, community policing is where it's at. because you happen to police in Apex, North Carolina, or Cary, North Carolina versus, Orlando, Florida. It's easier when you're in the shit to know you're in the shit. And those guys really, probably aren't even paying attention to a podcast like this. That's not true. I have a lot of fans in Orlando PD and Tampa PD, and Apex for that matter. So, but there are the few of you out there that you think, I don't need to be in shape. I don't need to do jujitsu or Muay Thai, or I don't need to go to the range. I don't need to do dry fire. I don't need to be a warrior. I'm just this. I'm just that. Maybe you're a dispatcher and you think that, you're a dispatcher in a slow moving county and nothing really happens. And so you can be off your game for a night. You can be a little hungover until it hits the fan. And when it does, and you're unprepared, the whole world's going to come down on top of you. So the first thing we have to talk about today is that you have to be aware that you guys are at a war right now. And it's a high stakes war. It's got all of it. It's got the politics. It's got the bad guys. It's got the conspiracies. It's more like a global war for you guys on a scale, because you're fighting multiple races, you're fighting multiple cultures, you're fighting the middle class, you're fighting the poor, you're fighting the rich. I mean, you are at war literally in this point in time with everybody, and you have no idea who your friends are. You have no idea who your allies are, because they can turn on you on a dime. And you're probably like, Eric, what the fuck are you even talking about right now? Like, I'm actually annoyed by you, Eric. I mean, I'm actually generally annoyed by whatever you're talking about because I don't understand the context. I'm going to play you a video right now, and then I'm going to play you another video. And it's all in the context of you guys have to show up every day ready to fight everyone, verbally, mentally, and physically. At this point, if you're not having conversations in the mirror with yourself on how to deal with somebody like this, how to de-escalate or how to escalate, or maybe if we're not having the discussions with our supervisors of how to deal with this fight, you will be surrounded, you will be defunded. I just watched a clip and I couldn't pull it because I don't have a producer today. If I had a producer today, I would have done this for you. I promise you I would have. And I'm not coming down on Josh for being sick because it sucks. I'm just letting you know that, like, I wanted to do this for you. There's a clip, maybe somebody can find it for me, of a Chicago politician, councilwoman, just like this Smithfield, Utah councilman that I'm about to show you. And she's running up and down the streets like a crazy bird. She's like, go back inside. Lock yourself inside. ICE is coming. ICE is here. Go back inside. Go back. Freaking out, trying to thwart law enforcement, telling the cops to take their mask off. You're not welcome in our city. Get out of our city, law enforcement. These ICE agents who I personally know the guys that are in Chicago, and I personally know the guys that were in Savannah, Georgia. I'm actually doing something for them right now. I know them personally, and I know the backstory. And there's not one person in the media, not one podcast. There's nobody's talking about it. They're not going after just any Joe Schmuckatelli illegal immigrant. These are gross accounts of abuse of illegal immigrants. What happened in Savannah, where you had a whole bunch of people from Korea that were basically working as slaves around, it was awful. And they had multiple complaints over multiple years. The same is happening in Chicago. What they're doing now, they're not just rounding up illegal immigrants that just made it over here. They're going after the men and the women who are doing really, really bad things, trafficking human beings for sexual purposes, trafficking drugs. Yeah. Oh, here we go. John, thank you. Can you play this? How did you find this?
Tell everyone to stay in their houses. Don't open your doors if there's not a war. This is my city. That's right. Take off your mask. Take off your mask. What? Inside of your houses, everyone, do not come out. Stay in your houses. Quédense en su casa. Tienen derechos todos. No salgan si no hay una orden firmada por un juez. Avísenle a los vecinos.
You can stop it there. Thank you. Okay, so this is perfect because you saw what's going on. You see her irrational behavior again, trying to thwart law enforcement. What is it? Resist, delay, obstruct law enforcement. So now you could say that's an isolated incident. We're not really at war with the politicians, Eric. You're being hyperbolic. All right, let's play this one.
Which car was it?
Well, no, you tell me what's up. You guys are in my house.
Okay, I just told you I'm here to investigate an accident. I understand your son's been in an accident.
Yeah, tell me what's
and
up.
that he was made. I'm doing that right now.
Please, that's what you're supposed to do when you respond as an officer. Just tell people why you're here.
So he's asking you which car
Why
was
are
it
you
that was
here?
involved.
Why are you here?
He's asking you which car is
Yeah,
involved.
I want to know why there's 2 officers responding to such a simple thing.
Because they're paying.
We pay a lot of money for you guys in the city.
Okay.
And I decide whether the budget's good or not. And so I think you should go patrol Main Street, do your job, and I'll talk to him and I'll deal with this.
Okay.
Go patrol Main Street. I'm not
I'll
dangerous.
talk to him.
Look, guys, we pay
no,
so much
listen,
money for
man.
this.
Okay.
Hey, look, I
Why don't you
decide.
just hang out for a second?
Go
Yeah,
patrol
and
Main
we'll
Street. Make
see.
yourself useful. Come on, guys. Go patrol Main Street. Make yourself useful. Let's not waste taxpayer dollars.
So, tell me what's going on.
Come down here. I've got a family event going on.
Okay, that's fair. I'm willing to do that.
I want to know why you're even here.
Because I am obligated
No,
to
tell me
invest.
why
There's a
you're
car that's wrecked down there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And you have already talked to the guy and said that your son had run into his car.
Yeah. And I gave him my insurance and I gave him everything. And we already called and made an insurance report. State Farm's handling everything.
Brought to you by StateFarm.com. I'm just kidding. I just thought that was funny. State Farm's handling everything. Jake from State Farm's got it.
Okay, and it's also over $1,500. So I need
Yeah.
to.
It's going to be his car's totaled. Yeah. So he called you. That's what you. Yeah. That's all you needed to say. Hey.
Yes, he called me.
Yeah. See, this is the problem, and your guys' lack of training blows my mind.
Okay.
It blows my mind. Hey, Ted, I'm here. There was an accident. The person whose
Will
car
you please
owned.
not step up on me?
No, I'm telling.
I'm asking
No,
you
no,
not to.
no.
Do you know why the cop's saying don't step up on me right now? Do you think the cop's not scared of this guy? The guy is literally talking and you can see the spit coming out of his mouth. Like, that is gross. You know what I mean? When somebody's mad at you and they get really close to you and like you're getting a little bit of spattle on your face because the guy's getting so emotional. Like, obviously there's something else going on, or this guy wouldn't be that emotional about this. Like, there's some like deep-seated shit going on here. I don't know what that is. I don't have an answer for you, but like, I can understand that. Like, nobody wants, I'm not doing it. I'm not dealing with it. Neither should this cop. Great job. But here we go, guys. Pay attention. Pay attention, because the next video is really going to infuriate you. If you think these last 2 videos are going to infuriate you, this is why this. Let me just play it, because now I'm getting emotional.
Telling you how you're supposed to do your job because you obviously don't know. Look, listen. Hey, Ted, the person that your son hit earlier has asked that I make a police report. I'm here to do that. Instead, you show up like you're an FBI agent doing some big secret thing. Like, who trained you? I want to know who trained you.
Can I get your son's name?
How old are you?
Can I get your son's name?
How old are you?
Okay.
How long have you been?
Are
how long have you been?
going
How long have you been
to impede an investigation?
No. Do you have a warrant to be here?
I'm on public property right now.
Your lack of training, councilman, it just blows my mind. Like, oh my God, your lack of training, that you don't even know that this is public property and I don't have to have a warrant to be here. Your lack of.
I'll cooperate with you, but
I'm trying to.
No. You guys have got to learn how to do your job right. We are botching so many things in the city because of you guys. And you know that. You're aware of everything. And I'm aware of everything.
Can
and
I
you know
get your
that.
son's name?
You can step onto my property and I will talk to you if you will be reasonable. Let's start the conversation over.
I love this because the cop is so, how do civilians say that cops are dumb and they're worthless? Like, can you imagine the emotional toll that this cop has to deal with right now? Like, look, you're at Lowe's Home Improvement. I'd say that that's a shitty job or anything like that, because it's not. Listen, I'm like right there. I'm ready to go work at Lowe's right this second. I'll go get a job at the post office anywhere. I'm not talking down on any job, but at Lowe's, if like, let's just say I had a job at Lowe's, if somebody was talking like this, like it's one of those jobs I can burn it down right now. Like I can just be like, you know what? I'm burning it down. Go fuck yourself. I'm out, lick my balls. And I would feel better about myself. And then I'll go get a job at Home Depot. Like as a cop, we really can't do that. You have to just sit there and you have to take this verbal abuse, this humiliation. How old are you? How are you so incompetent? How are you so stupid? Is like basically what this cop is having to deal with right now. Plus being spat on by King douchebag who's got, an $800,000 house backed up to the mountainside, who's being like who's angry. Like, what are you angry about, dude? What are you so fucking angry about? Look at your wife. Like, I don't get it, but let's keep going.
Let's do it. Please.
So the cop says, let's do it. Like the guy's like, let's start this over. And this is brilliant because the cop's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's start over. And then can we get, I want to get this cop's name and info because like, honest to God, this guy needs to like be in Hollywood because this is like the best acting I've ever seen. Like he full on is just going to start over. Like this cop's like, you want to start over? You want to start from the beginning? We'll start from the beginning. Watch this, mother licker.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Ted Stokes.
I am here because there was a complaint about your vehicle or your son hitting another vehicle, and the vehicle looks like it's totaled.
And the person who made the complaint was the person who owned the car?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We already talked to him. I'm happy to help you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we
Going
need
good.
your...
So he's given an address, so they blacked out.
2 responding officers.
Yes.
For a non-moving vehicle incident.
Yes. And what's your son's date?
So now he's going to go back to give him his son's date of birth. But like, I think this is hilarious because they started over and the cop's doing perfect. And this
His
dude's
driver's
botching.
license?
Yeah, sure.
He's reeling it back in. Good for him. Oh, but no, he's not. He's going to video the cop.
Will you go get it, Court? I don't have it.
Does he need to come out here?
No.
Like the
We'll see what
the wife's being legit. She's like, why don't we just bring our son out here? He
Okay.
freaking totaled a car.
Can you tell me which vehicle it was?
Yeah, it was that Hyundai Sonata right there.
Okay. So
All right, we're going to fast forward a little bit here because it's just going to escalate and get great. Here we
Sir,
go.
to make sure I don't hurt him at my house for my son.
Now he's on the
being
phone
a car,
with the
non-moving.
police
I waited
chief.
a half an hour at the guy's house to give him his insurance policy. I'm fine with him making a police report. I'm blown away by the fact that right in the middle of my Sunday dinner, my daughter's birthday party, with five other cars here for guests. I've got 40 people at my house for a birthday party.
So
And I've got two officers at my house. And this guy's
He's got 5 cars, but he has 40 people at his house. If you put 5 people in 5 cars, that's still like, what, like 25 people? Where do the other 15 go? Like, where do they come from? They just like walk through the pastures to get to your house? I don't know. He's got 40 people though, 5 cars in his driveway. He's kind of a big deal.
can I talk to your son?
Who's the other officer?
McComb.
McComb.
Copy,
I've got
thanks.
Hanson and McComb. This is unbelievable. Like, get on Main Street, the other officer, and go patrol. Instead, they're making sure City Councilman Stokes doesn't do something. Like, I don't know if this is retaliatory or what, because I didn't vote. Like, it better not be. I'm telling you, Justin. Like, this is over. Like, this is the last straw. I've got two officers out in front of my house with 40 people in my house celebrating a birthday party, and he couldn't even tell me why he was here other than he was to investigate a car accident that he acted like we had done a hit and run for. Like, that's how he approached me. He didn't say, hey, Ted, guess what? Like, some guy wants to make a report. We're here to do it. We understand you.
Thank God for body cams, because now we know like all of this isn't true. But like, do you see, like, this is a city councilman. This guy has like real like influence in his town. And this is how he is already calling other councilmen. Actually, I think he's talking to the mayor. He's not talking to the chief. So he's already spreading this rumor. This trusted councilman is saying that these cops showed up like FBI agents, that they have embarrassed him, that there's 2 officers, like the other officers down the road. I'll tell you right now, there's no way I'm not dealing with this by myself. Like, this dude's unhinged. I have no idea what's wrong with this guy.
Gave him your insurance information. Thanks for doing that, but we're obligated to make a report. I'm fine with that. You should have seen this guy approach. I'll send you the ring footage. You will be blown away by this. I don't know what to say, Justin, but this is the last straw. I know I've expressed my complaints, but this is it. This is the last straw.
Is this the last straw, you think?
They're both here because he's afraid I'm going to jump him. I approached him to talk to me. He says, you need to back up off of me. Back up off of me. I'm like, I'm standing here talking to you with a Sharpie in my hand.
But did he say, like, back up off me, back up off me?
These guys are so untrained, Justin. It blows my mind. I am done. Like, I don't know if there's a way to amend the budget now, but I want to amend it, and I'm going to call the other council members tonight. I'm going to tell them exactly what happened, and we are amending it. Like, we are going to 5 officers. This is it. We need 2 officers on duty in the morning. We need 2 officers on duty in the afternoon. We need 1 officer on duty at night. This is the most unbelievable thing I have ever.
Could you imagine working night shift around lunatics like that by your fucking self? I wouldn't work there in that county. I would be like, look, dude, you guys can go. There's a rich neighborhood over there. Have at it. If I was a cop right now, like I would literally be telling every criminal I could. Like I would just be like low key. Like I would get on the phone with my wife and I'd be like, oh man, it's crazy. I was just patrolling this neighborhood and all the garage doors were open and like it was at this address in Smithfield, Utah. It was like really wild. Like nobody even has security cameras or anything, you know, just like praying that somebody would go and just ransack this neighborhood. I'm just kidding. That's absolutely the wrong thing to do. But like you get what I'm saying, right? Like that's why cops are great people, because they don't do shit like that. But assholes like this exist, and we literally just deal with it. So it just goes on, and it gets a lot dumber from there. But I wanted to show you these 2 videos before I show you this next one, because this is why that right there, that councilman and the other Illinois lady, this is why this has to stop, and we have to go to war with these people right now, or you're surrounded. We have to stop it with these people right now, because the next video shows you the consequences for you. For you. Stop being lazy. You got to get involved. I want to just take a break. I want to reel it back in before we get really dark here for a second, because this is a really sad video. Here's our hero of the week. I've been doing this since like 3 weeks ago. Hero of the week. This is our cool guy video to get you pumped up for the week. Here it is. Be more like this guy. Well, I don't know. Depends where you're at, because you do this shit in Chicago. Now probably fired. You do this in New York for sure. Los Angeles, fired. You can probably do this in Florida. Good to go. Georgia, yeah, you're good. You still got a job. North Carolina, ish. Depends on where you're at. Hope maybe not Durham. Maybe not Durham. Where else can you get away with this? Montana, maybe. People don't really commit these kind of crimes though in Montana. It's not really a thing up there in Montana. Where else? Where else? Texas. You can get away with this in Texas. All right, here we go. Oh!
My motherfucking back. Let me talk to my old lady. Man, fuck you, dog. You broke my back.
One, the cop that hit him. So for you audio listeners out here, it is a man running out of handcuffs off the hood of his car, and he takes off running in handcuffs. And this other police officer just absolutely Troy Polamalu's him, Ray Lewis's him, Yay Sports him. This is like the only 2 dudes I know that hit hard. Maybe a crackback like Hines Ward type deal. Absolutely shoulders into this guy, sending him into a brick wall. The crunch of his spine and his head hitting the brick walls is something that makes me sleep comfortably at night. It really does. I'm going to play it one more time for you guys to sit in your car. Really, that you can't see this if you're sitting in your car, which 99% of you are. But just to know that like you don't need to see this. The sound is the most magical part. Just listen to the crunch of his spine and his head slamming into the bricks. Ready? Oh! That is so great. And I love the fact that the cop like shields his face, like, oh no, I really fucked up, you know. And that cop's got a dump truck, brother. Look at this dude's dumpy. Hold on, watch this. Not the cop that's had too many donuts. That probably is the one that let the guy run in handcuffs. That's embarrassing. But like, look at the hero cop here for a second.
Man, fuck you, dog.
Hang on, look at it. Here he is, right off to the left. Look at this thing, dude. Look at this guy. What a handsome fella. I mean, that is like, and he's surrounded by 2 other fat cops, which sucks. It's embarrassing, but damn, dude, that dude looks that guy. He played college football for show. Guys, stop being fat in uniform. Stop it. I get it. You're underpaid and there's too much going on, but like your family deserves better. Your community deserves better. Just start getting on it. Just get on a plan. Figure it out. Get on a plan. Do it for 30 days. Do it for 60 days. I don't know, whatever you have, do it for 2 weeks. I don't know. Try to start with some kind of a discipline, because like those 2 dudes right there, 0 discipline, nothing. And like maybe they got a lot of shit going on in their lives. You know, I don't like to sit back, but like you have to. You either succumb to all of those things and get a new job, or you figure out a way to overcome all the shit that you got going on at home. Put the bottle down, whatever it is. But like, maybe it's just like no more sodas or something. Start small. I don't know. I'm not here to like be your personal trainer. I'm just saying you can't be fat and be a cop anymore. Like, we're past that. Stop it. Okay. Let's go into today's real video. Now that we've had the fun videos, here we go. And listen, I'm going to let this guy narrate it. This is from Midwest. Let me see. Hold on one second. Oh, let me go back to, let me tell you what this is from before I play it. This is going to be coming from Midwest Safety. Midwest Safety on YouTube, 2.96 million subscribers. I just subscribed to them. Never subscribed. I hadn't seen them in the past, but I'm for it. These are really cool videos that they have done, where they've done their own kind of breakdowns. So I'm going to play their breakdown, and then I'm going to tie it in that this is the fault of these politicians. The people that you see in these videos are literally just behaving exactly like the people that they elected. And that is super fucking scary. They're acting just like the politicians. That is why we have to get these nutcase, ignorant, like just ignoramuses out of city council, off of your your state senate, all of these morons. We've got to do a better job of voting them out, or we've got to do a better job of us being the loud professionals. Like, it's time to be loud. It's time to get loud. It's time to start whining, or you're going to be surrounded, and your community's not going to be safe. Your family's not going to be safe, and you're not going to have a job, or you're going to be dead. You flanked on both sides. Now's the time to put up, or literally they are going to take over. We're going to lose this battle if we don't start getting loud. So I'm going to play their breakdown because I think they did a really great job with it, and just pay attention.
25, Bloomfield officer Daniel Weaver, new to the department with 2 months of service but over 4 years prior experience, stopped a vehicle at a gas station after scanning the license plate and finding it was suspended for insurance issues.
And I'm going to fast forward through all this. So one officer pulls over a truck. She's got a suspended license. The guy in the passenger seat hands him a receipt for payment of insurance. Look, if your insurance lapses, by the way, a lot of civilians don't know this, then they suspend your license. Then when you get insurance back, it has nothing to do with your license. The DMV and insurance don't really have anything to do with each other, except DMV is required by law to tell law enforcement, or tell the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicle, that you no longer have insurance. And if you're in a state that you have to have insurance and they can suspend your license, then that state suspends your license. But you can't be driving around with no insurance. When you pay the insurance company to get your reinsurance, they have no obligation to let the DMV know that you now have insurance. Like the insurance companies don't sit around and go, hello, Loren, got you. You don't have insurance this month. You're not going to make your payment. Fair enough. Okay. I'm required by law to let the DMV know. Check. They call the DMV. They're like, yo, Loren doesn't have insurance. FYI. They hang up the phone. DMV goes and suspends the license. You call them back and you're like, hey, I'm Loren. I'd like to make a payment. You make the payment. And they say, great. To make payment. They have no obligation to then call the DMV. That's your responsibility, not the insurance company's responsibility. Their duty is to let them know that you don't have insurance. Their duty is not to let them know that you do have insurance. So I would guess in this case, that's what happened. Insurance lapsed, DMV suspended the license. They paid the insurance, got the receipt for the insurance, but they never called the DMV and had their license unsuspended and whatever fines or penalties that they had to pay with the DMV. Which I don't even know if there is a fine or a penalty. I think you just call them and you just let them know that you've been reinstated, and then they hook you up. So as a police officer, I used to let people know that all the time. He's going to deal with this. Meanwhile, this other officer named Ontiveros, who's been with the Bloomfield police for 6 months, and he has a 1.5 years total of experience. That means he's been a cop for 6 years, and he spent a year at like the academy and training. So whatever. Here we go. He's going to pull over a different car, and this guy has a dash cam, and he's videoing himself because he's unhinged and he's crazy, and the whole world's just gone to shit, and nobody respects law enforcement anymore, and everybody's seeing these videos of these women walking down the street saying, get back inside, or they see the videos of freaking Bloomdale, Smithfield, Utah Stokes, Councilman Stokes, acting like a complete bitch when the law enforcement officers show up to literally do their fucking job. And by the way, if you have a car accident, let me just go back to this really quick. City Councilman Stokes jokes. If you have a car accident, generally speaking, how many people are involved? Somebody in the chats let me know that I'm not fucking crazy. I want to make sure this is common sense. Anybody, if there's a car accident, generally speaking, how many parties are involved? Somebody write it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? Let me know. Somebody in the chats. Make sure you're still awake. There you go. There's a lag. 2. They're all pumping in now. 2. Nitrogen. 2. Thank you. Yeah, generally speaking, there's going to be 2, right? Unless the car was empty. But even if the car was empty, it probably belonged to somebody else. Generally speaking, 99% of the time, 2. Thank you. Low-Ren, 2. Nitrogen, 2. Bosco, 2. Thank you. Everybody's paying attention. Great. So how many cops do you think might be needed? To one person to get one person's story, one person to get another person's story, right? Makes sense to have 2. Makes it twice as fast. Also, the chances of there being a crazy person are twofold. If you've got 2 people, what are the chances now? Like, are the chances lesser or greater that one of them could be on coke? What are the chances that one of them, like the chances are 2 times higher, you know? So it makes no, your lack of training, Councilman Stokes, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. So anyway, Ontiveros, who's been a cop for not very long, is pulling this car over while his partner has this other suspended license thing.
Of total experience. During Ontiveros' patrol, a civilian driver with dash and cab cameras voices his opinions of police, seemingly to himself.
I was going 35 miles an hour, and this officer was following me. Why do you think he was following me? Because he's a perv who thinks he's allowed to get in my pants. I think he might have been out of jail.
All right, so for you audio listeners, yes, Kingslayer Damocles, that's what I said. Like, if you don't have insurance, if you don't make your insurance company calls the DMV. I mean, I thought I was like pretty clear on this. They call the DMV and they tell them that you don't have insurance and they suspend your license immediately. Yeah. That's exactly how it is. But when you get your insurance back, the DMV, the insurance company does not call the DMV and tell them that you have insurance again. That is your responsibility. You have to call the DMV or go to the DMV and show them proof of insurance or do whatever. So that's where it's at. Now we have this video where this guy says, he got pulled over he was going 35 miles an hour, and now there's a cop behind him, and he's upset. You think he might be out to get me, is what he says, something like that. I'll keep playing it.
Yeah, perhaps in fear for your life. He's an armed thug, isn't he? Well, I haven't.
He's an armed thug, and I have to believe that, and I'm in fear for my life. This is a civilian talking to his own dash cam. I think that's weird, but
That's not an editing error. The civilian repeats the sentence as if recording a second take. Officer Ontiveros, unaware of the civilian's comments, sees their passenger headlight out, prompting a traffic stop.
Oh, what now?
3113, turn 54.
And we will do it again.
Meanwhile, Officer Weaver makes a discovery about his own pulled over driver.
Okay, so this other cop, we're going to fast forward past that. He finds out that it's a suspended license, and I've already explained that in detail of why it's suspended.
What I'm aware of is that it burned out one.
You got your driver's license, fine. So you're okay. To police.
All right, here we go. The approach of the officer. He's walking up. I'm not going to break this one down. I'm not going to break this one down tactically or anything. I'll just go ahead and clear the air. This officer passes away. He dies from this incident. There's a lot of things you should not do. A lot of things you should not do. You should not square up to anybody at any time as you're a cop. Please don't do that. Please don't square up. Always be off to an angle. Be off, and this is why. Because if you stand square on with somebody, it makes it way too easy for them to shoot you. Stay off to that B pillar. That's where I would like to be. I'm always thinking, and I'm still to this day, even when I'm talking to people at a skate park or I'm talking about, I'm always at the advantage. And it's something that I've had to brainwash myself into doing. I always talk with steepled fingers, and I'm not saying like I'm like the end all be all to tactics, because I'm not. I'm just a regular street guy. You've read the books. You've seen, I only know these things because I made these mistakes, right? If you've read my book, you'll know I've made every one of these mistakes. I got lucky and I didn't die from my mistakes. This guy did not get lucky, and he died from his mistakes. I don't want you officers to make those mistakes. That's all. I'm not trying to moneyboard. I'm not trying to make myself look cloutful. I'm not looking for clout. I'm not, I sucked at this stuff too, but I got good at it over time. These are learned behaviors. You have to ingrain you have to wake up and make a conscious decision that you are going to be a warrior and you're going to have a warrior mindset. We're only going to talk in steepled fingers. That means your fingers are steepled. Like, you know what I mean? Like, here are the people, here's a steeple, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what we say. And why do we talk like that? It's so that our hands are right here. It looks calm. It looks cool. But look, I can deflect. I can do this. I can reach for my gun really fast. I can reach for my taser really fast. I can go for my pepper spray really fast. But I'm right here. And it looks nice and kind and gentle. But my hands are here. They're never way down here. Because now I can't deflect when you try to punch me in the face. I can't move while my hands are down here. I'm limited in my... and how I move. And so this is just a very simple way that you should never talk to anybody for any reason. If I'm in church, I'm talking, if we shake hands, my finger is always out so that I can rotate your hand, or I can pull you forward, or I can push you away. I don't limp wrist anybody, because I just assume that you prove to me that you don't want to hurt me. And listen, you don't have to be a weirdo, but you don't have to wear combat boots and fucking jeans and have, 15 pins in one pocket and, 1,000 pouches in your civilian clothes. And you look like, whatever, Gomer Pyle or something. Within reason, you should always be ready. But those are like little things. Oh, never sit with your back towards the door. That's ridiculous. If you're on the bus, we sit catty corner so that we can see who's sitting behind us. We put our back up to the wall so that we know that there's nobody behind us. Things like that. These are little things that we can do. Never squeeze into a booth. That's ridiculous. That's how you get shot and killed at a Starbucks. Don't ever approach a car and just stand in the gaping hole of the window. I don't care if you think this guy's going to hurt you or he's not. Like, it's just poor practice. If you do it once, you're going to do it again. Like, how about every single person you ever come in contact with, you make it a habit to never break that B pillar. Do your whole entire traffic stop behind the B pillar. You should never need to venture. There's no other reason that you should be able to venture around unless your gun is already out and you're going to put rounds in this dude's chest because you're looking around. But if you move past that B pillar, you have to know that you are in a dangerous position. So you should be ready for that dangerous position. All right? Pay attention to that. It sucks. This cop pays the ultimate price for it.
Hello, Officer Ontiveros, Bloomfield Police.
Yes, sir.
You might roll down your window so I can talk to you?
I can hear you just fine, thank you.
Okay. So, the reason why I pulled you over is you ain't got a headlight.
I saw it burn out on the way in.
Okay, that's fine. So you're aware you don't have a headlight?
Well, what I'm aware of is that it burned out.
You got your driver's license, registration, insurance. You want to go to court or do you want to pay a fine?
Stupid paper.
So you don't want to roll down your window so I can hear you better?
Do you want to roll down your window so that I can hear you better? And the guy says no. This is because we've allowed this shit to happen. It never goes well. Like, no reasonable person doesn't roll his window down on a traffic stop. If they don't roll their window down on the window, if they don't roll their window down, then they are telling you they are the threat. I don't care. Oh, it's my freedom. It's my right. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You're an unreasonable human being. People have eyes that have nystagma. People have to wear glasses. It is very difficult to navigate on roads, especially for elderly people, when you only have one headlight. It's much easier to give them a little bit more time driving for you to just drive around with two regular headlights. It's not that hard. A bulb costs like $3, like $2.85. Unless you drive a Volkswagen or, like one of those German cars or like a BMW, maybe it's low. But this is like old Dodge Ram. That is a $2.85 fix. I fix these things all the time. I used to carry packages of bulbs in my car and fix other people's shit when I was driving around as a cop. But if you're not going to roll down your window, it's because you're a crazy person, and it's because you don't deserve to have rights. If you can't function in a civil society, then you don't get to have rights in general, because you're just too fucking stupid. And this guy's, and this is the point. This is the proof. But we've allowed ourselves to think that these people are right. Like these unreasonable whack jobs. We've been doing flawless traffic stops for years and years, 20 years, 30 years. Cops will be doing traffic stops and not get into one shooting at a department. And they'll have one asshole like this, and then they'll change it like nationwide. And now we're going to tolerate this. I'm not tolerating it. I'll tell you right now, if I'm a cop, if you're not going to roll down your window, we're having problems. And I'm just going to be very upfront with you. And this is why we're going to have problems, because you're an unhinged crazy person. And I don't know what unhinged crazy people are going to do. But I'll tell you this, it has nothing to do with your outed headlight at that point. This could have been roll your window down. You've got a busted tail light. This cop could have probably fixed that for you, or followed you somewhere to do it, or had you send him a picture and he'll destroy the citation. Hey, get this fixed by tomorrow morning by noon, and I won't process this ticket. There's 1,000 options. Not anymore. Now there's 0 options. Now the options are, I'm probably going to look for a way to take you to jail because you're an asshole.
Go ahead and pass it out.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Thank you.
Okay, so this is how it's going to work. That is a criminal offense. You have to provide your ID. If not, you're now concealing ID. We're going to take you to jail. Your choice.
New Mexico state law.
Okay.
The license must be provided and exhibited. It does not.
He also grabs his radio with his gun hand. We talk about this every single episode, and now you see why I'm talking about it every single episode, because everybody's doing it right now. It's like every department in the last 10 years has just decided we're not going to teach you guys how to talk on the radio. Your lack of training blows my mind. I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, that is a pet peeve of mine. Stop using the radio with your dominant hand. Stop doing it. Don't ever do it. Train yourself not to do it. Your radio should go on your left shoulder, and you should just train your body to use your left hand to freaking grab your radio. Because grabbing your radio with your gun hand is ridiculous, and it's a bad habit. Stop doing it.
I have to hand you.
Okay, that's fine.
There it is.
That's fine. I'll get it in just a second.
2129, are you able to break?
Hey, from
10 point, he's going to be at Broadway and George.
just hang tight. Hey, you guys are good to go. You don't have a license, okay? So swap with him if he's good to drive, okay? Your license.
So he calls for a backup. This cop's like, well, that's strange. He's calling for backup. You guys switch seats if your license is good, and y'all get on out of here, right? Because that's like what we like. We don't really care about these things, but I'll tell you why they're doing that is either this is where they run drugs at an alarming rate, and so they're doing a lot of traffic stops, or they have just a shit ton of drunks, or somebody just died there from a car accident. Like there's a reason why these cops are all running and pulling somebody over on this strip of road, and it's because it's a problem area. That's why. Like that's what you do. You can read about that in my book. I'm like very, like, I'll tell you the reason why we would go to certain neighborhoods and certain places is because that's where all the crime was happening. That's where the cops on dots is what we called it. Captain Rusto says, what's up, Eric? Keep fighting the good fight. I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. Here we go. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit.
No headlight, and he's not wanting to give me his ID.
Here we go. Young man is talking to his supervisor, giving him the whole lowdown with his fighting hand in the radio. Again, I'm sorry. It sucks. I just want you guys all to learn from this. Please stop using the radios with your right hand, your gun hand. Just stop. I'll say it 1,000 times.
Exhibited and nowhere in all 4 papers.
It says prohibited. And where did you just hear that? Where did you guys just hear that exact kind of rhetoric? We just saw it from the councilwoman in Illinois, And we just heard it from the councilman in Smithfield, Utah, right? Same exact tone of voice and everything. Do you have a warrant to be here? Go back inside. You guys can't be like, it's the same rhetoric. This is learned behavior. This is why I say the war is here. You are fighting all of this. And until you wake up and you decide mentally that you are at war with society right now, they are going to consume you. And they're going to hurt you. Like, you have to put all that in the back of your brain. I don't care what Councilman Stokes' opinion of the police are. I don't care what councilwoman, whatever, in Illinois. I don't care what her opinions of my ICE agents are. I know that I'm doing something noble. I know why I'm pulling you over for a broken taillight. I know why I need you to roll. And I don't care that you don't know. I'm not going to sit here and risk my life to try to explain shit to the sheep that I don't even speak your fucking language. And here we have another cop trying to speak the language of the sheep, and he is going to be killed from it. He's going to die because he's trying to communicate with an entity that a sheepdog and a sheep cannot have a conversation. They do not speak. A sheep can't go, brr, brr, and the sheepdog will go, and like, it's not how it works. The sheep will never know why the sheepdog nips at its ankles. It has no idea. The sheepdog can't say, hey, bitch, the reason why I'm nipping at your ankles right now is because there are literally wolves and bad shit, snakes, all sorts of stuff over in those woods. And you don't need to be near there. You need to go get back with the pack. We need to keep things safe here. He can't do that. The sheep hates the sheepdog, and that's just it. That's just final. It doesn't matter, though. We can't sit here. The sheepdog's not going to sit here in the middle of the woods while the wolves surround him, and he's just going to sit here and try to reason with the sheep until the wolves kill both of them or whatever happens. Like, this is ridiculous. And it's learned behavior. Like, we have to stop. Like, you as a supervisor need to, like, figure it out how you're going to train your men to not put themselves in these positions and deal with these idiots. Like, it is time that people understand that we are the police and we're going to do our thing, and we're not going to risk our lives to the point of death because we want to prove to society that we are doing something noble. No, you know what you're doing is noble. You know what you're doing is the right thing to do. Do you, boo?
10-4 for now. I'll just sit with them until I can get an ID.
Write them a citation.
Right there. That's the law.
29, let me know if you'll leave me over there.
Just like I said, headlight is a criminal offense. This is the reason why.
Here we are, repetitive repetition. We don't have to do this. It's not reasonable. It's not reasonable for us to keep saying the same shit. How many times did that cop say, okay, well, sir, I am here because there's a car accident. Sir, like I told you before, the reason I'm here is because there is a car accident. Okay, let's start over. I'm here today because there was a car. Do you remember how many times he had to explain to this dumbass that he's there for a car accident? It's not about the car accident. These people aren't stupid. They just can't communicate with you. They're not capable of having a conversation with you because they're bad people. They are not noble. You're noble. They are not. They're the bad guy. You're the good guy. Sorry. I know society doesn't want to say it's us versus them. Sorry. That's not how this works, guys. You're surrounded. You're being surrounded. And you keep telling yourselves you're not at war with these people. You keep telling that you can reason with them more and more. But now they're on their right flank and now they're on your left flank and you are going to be swallowed whole. Because you keep doing this exact thing right here. And this cop, Ontiveros, bless his heart, bless his soul, rest in peace. This dude is trying to communicate with a bad guy. The other officer that we saw in Smithfield, Utah was trying to communicate with a bad guy. The two differences is that one bad guy's a pussy and this bad guy's a fucking killer. At the end of the day, they're both bad human beings. They're both bad seeds. The Smithfield rich asshole in his little mansion is a bad seed. He's a pussy, but he's a bad seed. This guy is poor, podunk. He's a bad seed, but he's a fucking killer. And you don't get to choose which one's the killer and which one's not. You don't get to make that decision. My son asked me one time, Dad, how do you know somebody's a bad person? I say, because when I shake their hand, I look them dead in the eyes. I looked him straight in the eyes and he says, you can tell. And I said, a lot of times I can. I can tell a lot about somebody by looking them right in the eyes. I can tell if they're dejected. I can tell if they're depressed. I can tell if they're happy to see me. I can tell if they're uncomfortable. I can tell if they are bad. And I can tell if they're evil. We're playing games. We're trying to convince ourselves that we're not at war. And we're trying to convince ourselves that we don't need to be warriors, that it's okay to be fat. It's okay to be more concerned about your sexual preference and your hair color at work. It's okay to have the long fingernails. It's okay to figure out what kind of earrings you're going to wear. It's okay to figure out what kind of tactical queer gear you're going to have all over your stuff that you don't even know how to use and you're not going to practice. It's okay to do all of those things because the threat's not real. Look at Uvalde. That town had like an average of 3 homicides a year. And everything went to shit. And they had no tactical advantage whatsoever. And they were crucified for it.
Pulled you over. If you read your state statute, it says you have to provide identification when a crime is being committed or has been committed.
A burned out headlight is an ordinance violation.
That's fine.
Not a crime.
A headlight is a state. It's city, state, it's everywhere.
State law still says provided and exhibited. It does not say I have to hand you anything.
This guy does sound like Damocles Kingslayer. Like, actually, it says exhibitive. And it's like, shut the fuck up and playing semantics. Like, quit playing word games. Okay, or play the word games, and we'll see how that works out for you when you get 14 holes, like, rattled out through all your body, and you killed a cop. Like, have fun burning in hell because you read the back of your ID incorrectly. Which, by the way, there was another video I was going to show you today about a woman doing the same thing with a check. She says, the check says negotiable. So I negotiated, she's trying to like talk her way out of fraud.
Well, I'm not concealing anything.
You
it's
are
right there in front of
ID. I asked for your information.
And I am providing.
And we're still having this argument squared up in the window with our hand on our radio and not our gun on a dude that is being absolutely not quiet. And we're just continuing to talk. Like, the talking has to be over. Put your spotlight on that mirror so he can't see you. Go stand in his back window. Wait for your backup. Maybe the guy takes off. Fine. That's great. Let him take off. You're not dead. And he's got more charges. And you know who he is. And there's no way you cannot not find this guy. Like, you're going to be able to find him later. But instead, we're trying to do the right thing by trying to communicate with people you cannot communicate with. They're not capable of your communication. You have to know that. You can't reason with drunk people, and you can't reason with crazy people. Stop trying.
And exhibiting it exactly as the law says.
That is perfectly fine.
I'm going to go to the next part of this video for you.
I have provided my information.
Hand me your driver's
I
license.
am not going to hand you a driver's license so you can do that name run routine and attempt to set me up with somebody else's warrant. That is exactly what you do. They take the name. They run just the name.
No.
Then they look for any name like it that has a warrant that's even similar to the name. David Reeder versus the state of Pennsylvania. That's what they proved.
While no case was found under David Reeder versus Pennsylvania, his description of the case sounds like David Sosa versus Florida, where a man who shared names with a wanted individual was repeatedly misidentified, arrested, and held in jail despite informing officers. The court sided with the officers in
So in that case, the guy gave a fake name, and the guy that he gave the fake name of had warrants, and the cops took him in for warrants, and he complained that he was unjustly taken to jail, which, by the way, you can still take him to jail for giving you a false name. So, like, they sided with the officers in that case. And this asshole who thinks he knows more, or thinks that, like Kingslayer Damocles, that you can't reason with cops, which is, like, absurd. You can't reason with cops because you're obviously a crazy person.
In that case,
They caught him on camera doing it. They ran just the name in an attempt to get away. I believe this is high-strength plexiglass because it's a four-wheel drive vehicle.
So this cop tries to bust out the window and it will not break. And he's beating the corner of it just like he's supposed to. He's doing all the right things and the window won't break. And homeboy is like, oh, that's not going to break because it's plexiglass and this is a four-wheel drive vehicle. Touche. I got this package sent to me and it's called a breach ball. And it looks like a mace. Like it can go on the end of a baton. And it's got these like steel or ceramic, like, I don't know, needles coming off of it. This thing looks wicked. You can't really see it, but it's completely wicked looking. Anyway, I've always thought like one, I wouldn't even know where to carry this or like how to carry it effectively. And so I kind of just put it on the shelf and I've never really talked about it, but now I see exactly what this is for. Like you could literally, that cop could have walked back to his car and like, cause he tried to beat the plexiglass and it won't work. Dude, there's no way this isn't going through the plexiglass. He could have just went, you can unscrew the little knob on your baton and screw this on. It fits the batons and then whack it. And that window is definitely going. So now I know exactly what this ball, this breech ball, the X breech ball is used for. And I don't know where you would carry in your car. My fear is that you'd flip your car over and this thing would go through your face or something. But anyway, you know, maybe there is a time and a place for a breech ball. I finally found that time in that place, which is now right here.
It probably will break eventually. I'm doing what the law says. You might want to get your sergeant out here. I am providing my information.
And I've fast forwarded it. I'm going to get to the end of this video now for you. But I've fast forwarded it. We still have the same thing. The cop is still just repeating himself for the fourth time, going through the rigmarole. I don't need to beat this dead horse.
Why I'm trying to make
Okay, I want you to pay attention. So the backup officer finally busts out that window. I want, help me out in the chats here really fast. Yes, both cops get shot right here, point blank range. The cop that broke the window, where was he standing? Somebody tell me. Hang on, ready? Where's that cop standing right there in relation to the car? Where is he standing? In the chats, wake up, let me know. You got Tyler S. Everybody's fighting with Kingslayer Damocles right now. Yeah, I've already said this. You can't reason with crazy people. You can't communicate with these people. Stop trying. I'm done trying. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to, if he couldn't even understand what I was saying about the insurance without like trying to talk in semantics, the guy's a nutball. Forget it. Quit trying. Yes, he's standing at the B pillar. Thank you. Loren. Thank you, Nightkin. Thank you, Bosco. He's standing at the B pillar. Unfortunately, where is Ontiveros standing? Somebody tell me there. Where is he standing? Where's Ontiveros standing? Somebody wake up. There's like a little bit of a delay too. Yeah. Yeah, he's standing square to the window. He's standing square to the window. And we know which one passes away in this. It's going to be Ontiveros. Do you see why? Do you see why it's so important to not to always stand on that B pillar, behind that B pillar, unless you are guns out, ready to rage? And by the way, if we're breaking a window, I'm guns up, giddy up. Like I'm not busting out a window and you're not at gunpoint. All right. Maybe I'm not pointing it at you, but I'm at the low ready. I'm ready to punch out and do work on you. Because if you're not opening your door, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'll tell you what you're not going to do. You're not going to get the drop on me. You're not going to get the drop on me. How terrifying is that image right there? Gun pointed right at the cop, right? Is that terrifying? Thank God he was standing behind the B pillar. Have I ever done a traffic stop in front of the window? Yeah, I have. Am I better than Ontiveros? No, I'm not. You can read my book. You'll see I'm not that. I'm not better. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm not money more. I'm not talking shit on Ontiveros. What I'm saying is I was wrong and you've done it a lot and you were wrong. And we should all look at this and say, we got to stop doing that. Like, we got to stop doing that. We got to stop squaring our bodies up to these windows. Every traffic stop behind the B pillar from now on. Every one of them. I pray to God that anybody that watches this show, we do over 1 million downloads a year. I never want to have one of you guys. I would like to get that message where it was like, I went to reach for my radio with my left hand. And while I did, the guy tried to draw on me and I was able to draw and kill him because I listened to your show and I never touched the radio with my gun firing hand ever again. That's what I want in this world. That's the only reason I say that. So, Ontiveros was shot several times, and he was killed. The one standing behind the B pillar lived and killed the bad guy. All of that behavior that you saw today in each one of these clips, they were all from bad people. These are a politician dressed in politician clothes running around, trying to warn of ICE coming there. She's a big threat because now people are going to go inside and guess what's inside their houses? Guess what's inside my house? If I'm outside playing and I'm a bad guy and I'm doing bad things and a politician runs up and down the road and tells me to go inside my house, the ICE agents are coming. Guess what's in my house? Lots of them. She's a big threat. She's a bad person. She's a threat to you. You're at war with her. Stokes trying to defund you. Stokes trying to belittle you. The bad guy. Was he on coke? I don't know. Is he abusive to his wife? I don't know. I'll tell you this, though. That's not the end of that story for Stokes. I think you digged a lot deeper. That dude's got mad demons in the closet. I don't know what he's doing, but it ain't good. Because if you're that upset with the police for no reason, you're doing some really shady shit. Maybe you're, maybe he's got some kind of money laundering program going. I don't know. I have no idea what that guy's got going on. But I'll tell you what, that's not normal behavior. And he's a bad person. He's a bad person. Let's call it like it is. He's a bad person. He's just a pussy. But then you meet this guy, he's a bad person, and he's not a pussy. He'll kill you. He killed a cop. You're at war with society right now, and you have to start acting like you're at war every day that you go to work. It's time to stop treating the Damocles whatevers of the world and trying to get on their level and try to explain shit that they don't want you to explain. They don't care. It's not about explaining to them. It is literally about them versus you. They think they have the upper hand on you, and that's just not how this is going to work. If that's the way it works, then they should become cops, and they're not. They couldn't be. They won't be. And therefore, if they choose to go out and fuck around, then it is your job to deal with that. And you don't have to get on their level to make them understand why they're being pulled over. By the way, icing on the cake, the harness in the headlight was completely removed. The ID card had tape over his name and his birthday. The man never provided a valid driver's identification with his name and birth date visible, even as it says on the back of his license that you try to play semantics with. And also, the harness was removed. It wasn't a burned out headlight. This guy did this on purpose because he's a crazy person. The person who broke my teeth in my book, I pulled him over for the same thing. He just had lots of cocaine in the car. That's why he was acting like crazy. We're done. You pull somebody over and they roll their window down and they give them your ID. They get treated with politeness, all the courtesies, all the things. You give them a warning. You be grateful for them, just like you are, because you know you do that. Most of you, 99% of you cops are noble, and you do things like that. You want to see the world become a better place. I know you're doing that. You're doing the right thing. But when a guy like this, it's not your job to convince him to change his way of thinking. You're not going to talk that guy into rolling down the window. No, he's going to fucking kill you. That's more like it. And listen, if he wants to come around, great. But we're not going to stand there in front of the window and have this dialogue with you over and over again. We're not going to go to your house and be embarrassed and shamed and have to resist, delay, and obstruct. That man delayed tax dollars. You want to talk about tax dollars being tied up? He tied your tax dollars up by getting on the phone, by retarding your investigation. He was the bad person. He was the one wasting your tax dollars. Arrest him. Let's start making it clear, supervisors, city leaders, if you really care about the cops, then let us deal with this accordingly. Let us hook that guy up. This should have never been a video. This officer should have never been killed. There's no officer should feel like state troopers don't do it. State troopers will never do that. That would have been asked once, tell once, bust that window out, and we're in a gunfight, and that state trooper would never have been standing in front of the window. I don't know why state troopers are so much better at this than street cops. Like, you guys go to doors and windows every night and you deal with bad shit and you see people shot way more than you say. Like, that doesn't scare you guys? Like, that doesn't scare the shit out of you? Like, does that not scare the fatness out of you? I want to do everything I can to stay alive for my family. Everything. I'm going to approach the house accordingly. I'm going to park my car accordingly. I get it, guys. I was there. Like I was there. I was no better or worse. But I'm saying like that time of policing is over. 2000s to 2018, all that's over. Those were the heydays of policing. That was the safest we've ever been in this country. Those days are over. Guys, head over to rangerup.com. Get you some Ranger Up shirts. Keep you motivated. Use the promo code Eric Tansey. Eric Tansey right now. Get you 10% off on any shirts that you have on there. And then also the Pig Latin t-shirt is up and available on rangerup.com. Rangerup.com. They are under new management. They're under new social media management as well. Everything. The whole thing is changed. There'll be more to come on that in October. Your guys' Failure Stop is getting the inside scoop on what's going on over at Ranger Up. Consider yourselves lucky. Head over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, or wherever you consume books or audiobooks and pick up Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story. The funniest and craziest police story ever written. Go and get it today. If you have the book, leave a review. I am unfortunately home this week. Fortunately and unfortunately home. I was supposed to be on a book tour this week. Everything got pushed back till Wednesday. So I'm home Monday and Tuesday, and I hope to get most of these books dealt with. All the ones that I have an address to out. If you sent me a book to be autographed, you are 99% sure there's like 2 of you that sent me an address and the rest of you did not. We're talking like over 90 books that I have with no address to get back to you. Well, I've gone and sought out about 20, but there's a lot of books in there that I have no idea who to send them back to. So I need you to DM me at Eric Tansey Official or Failure to Stop on Instagram, or DM it on Facebook. It's all getting very confusing very fast. I know better next time to not put myself in this situation, or at least have some kind of assistant that's monitoring all this. But all that stuff I hope to be getting out in the next 2 days. So do it accordingly. I appreciate you guys. Go check out Ali in the Archives. Go check out Santana True Crime. Go check out his book, The Professor, the Cop, North Carolina's Most Notorious Cold Case. Go check out On Being a Police Officer by Abby Ellsworth. I Am Pitts with Dexter Pitts. All the other law enforcement first responders. Let's build each other up. Let's not play the games that the veteran community is playing where you want to rip each other down. Let's just continue to build each other up. There's enough there are enough seats at this table for us all to sit and enjoy it and have a great time. From everybody in the chats, I appreciate you guys being here. Guns up. And thank you to David Vasquez down in Florida, who sent me the desk pop license plate from Florida. It's now hanging right here in the office. Thank you, brother. Love you so much. Forever Road podcast, music and automotive history with Bosco Autry. He's also still cranking out some episodes. So anyway, and then the bar is open with Beth and Greg. Man, it's like Hollywood. They say don't start mentioning names because you have to mention them all. And if you forget one, you'll be in a lot of trouble. I break all the rules. So I said my whole life is like a perpetual fuck up. Happy birthday to Jonathan Bates and happy birthday to Lester Lopez. Until next Friday, we'll see you guys later.